Hey guys, it's Panzerkunst here, and in this video, I wanted to talk about using terrain as a weapon, or more so defensively. So kind of if you got someone on their tail and you know you can't shake them, you can't outturn them or outspeed them, you can try to use rocks, you could try to use mountains, you could try to use the ground, basically anything you can to try to get them off your tail. And in my one recent session with the BF-109F here, two people used that against me, and it was just an interesting thought that I had, and uh, they use them more defensively. So I just thought I'll pull up three of those clips to see what those pilots did, because it's a pretty good tactic. And after seeing this, you can use it for yourself defensively, or if someone is using it against you, you can kind of see what it would take to try to get around that. So let's go right into those three clips. All right, so in this battle, it's the opening minute or so, and both teams, we just went to the center airfield. And as you can see, I just happened to get behind this LA-7 here, and he's making an attack on that P-38F, and I was able to just slide in behind him, because when you go in airfields, you got to keep your head on a swivel. You know, it's hard to see what's around you. But then he kind of did something interesting that you'll see here. So I'm coming in, making my attack. He notices me right here. He gets a kill. And then when he turns, I'm thinking, all right, this is just going to be a standard turn fight. And I think he's probably a little bit more maneuverable than I am. But I'm thinking it's still enough where I can kind of stay on his tail. So he does a turn, and he takes it into the vertical. So I'm like, all right, I'll just keep up with him. But he keeps turning, and I'll move the camera here. He keeps turning, and just look how close he's staying to the rocks. When you're this close, it's dangerous for he and I, because one wrong move, and either of us are gonna crash into this here. So I didn't know where this was going. I'm having a hard time getting on his tail, so it's actually working, and he's actually gaining on me here. So I try to pull away. Instead of continuing the vertical loop, I try to make it a little more horizontal, as you can see. And I'm just trying to think, I have to avoid the rocks here, and I have to try to stay on his tail, because if I let him fool me or go up around, then he'll be on my tail. So I'm trying to follow, I'm trying to keep up, and then he just loses sight, and he crashes into the rocks. And I doubt that was intentional, because we were still trying to get the airfield. As you can see, I take out these planes pretty quickly, and we were able to capture this shortly after. But as you can see what he did, he was looping all around here, and it was pretty hard to stay on his tail. If you kind of lose sight of where you are, this fireball right there easily could have been me. So I just thought that was an interesting move on his part. It was a good defensive move, and you use it to try to get the advantage. You know, it's a 50-50 chance, and he happened to just lose sight and crash, but that easily could have been me if I wasn't paying attention, or if I just hit the wrong, controls. So that was the first example there. All right, so in this battle, it's a tier 7, and I'm going up against a specialized tier 7 A7M, which has good firepower and can outturn me easily, and a tier 6 UK multi-role in the Tornado. And I'm in the enemy mining plant here. Not the best place to be, but there's a few aircraft here, so I'm trying to take out this Tornado. And right, pretty much at this moment, as I'm attacking him, as you can see on the mini map, I see a little diamond coming toward me. I caught on the corner of my eye, and I looked right away, and I saw it was specialized, so I know it's that A7M. So I decide to break off from him and just make a head-on attack, because I'm pretty much full HP and he's below half. And once I win this pass, this Tornado is gonna come after me, and that's where I use those rocks over there to try to get away. So I'm making an attack. I see the little diamond on my left side, so I turn to meet him. And here, as I mentioned, I'm just trying to play the odds. I think I can come out ahead of this. I know he could probably light on fire pretty easily, so I'm just gonna go head to head here. So I win that, but he takes my engine. I have no boost, and they just got the mining plant, which I thought I was gonna be able to get him to help turn it. So I'm basically a sitting duck here. And sure enough, that tornado that just killed that P-38, he's gonna be coming after me now. So I repair my engine. I'm slow. I don't have any boost, and he's on me, and he's firing at me. So I have nothing to do here. So as I mentioned, defensively, right? I can't fully get away from him with no boost. I can't really outturn him right now because he could easily just follow me on my tail, especially with my low hit points. So I decided to try to fly around these rocks. And when someone's chasing you like this and they lose line of sight on you, you disappear. And when you disappear from the game, they don't know where you're going. And even when you do get back line of sight on them, there's like a 1 or 2 second delay, and then you'll pop up. So a lot of good players that have beaten me many times, I'm chasing them. They go behind the rocks here, and then I don't know where they went. So I go where I think they went, and they appear on my side, and then they get behind me and they kill you. So if you ever see someone dive into the rocks, it just know that they can appear out of anywhere, and be careful with that. But if someone's chasing you, it's something you can try also. So you see, we lose line of sight, and now we're out of each other's radar. So I'm expecting him to come this way because he thinks I'm here. So I'm planning to go up around and get behind him. So I come around, and then see how he just appears out of nowhere? He played it pretty well because he probably saw me going this way a little bit. So he's coming at me. We're both coming at each other. But I even the odds now because now if I get into a regular turn fight, I know I can beat him at the turn fight. Instead of trying to run away in a linear way, I was able to turn the tables on him. He doesn't get any shots off here. So right away, I'm just going to make this into a straight turn fight because I know I can outturn him. Just trying to get leverage. I'm trying to turn my plane as hard as I can. And then he decides to break off. But at this point, it's too late. He has no speed. He has nothing going for him. And as he's turning, I'm thinking, if he makes another turn, I can get him in the zone. So I wait for him to make another turn. I don't attack right here. I look at the minimap. He's in the zone. Fire. And I get some of the mining plant back. So I had just lost my engine. I just repaired it. I had no speed. I had no boost. I had nothing going for me. If I would have tried to turn with him there, going so slow, he would have been able to get an initial attack on me, and he probably would have killed me because I only had 70 HP. But flying behind this rock, you disappear, and you can reappear and surprise him and try to get the upper hand again. And that's one example of something you can do there. Alright, so in this last clip, I'm in the Tier 6 ME410. I'm in a flight with the P-38, so two very strong Tier 6 heavy fighters going against another specialized ME410 and a multi-role, the S-199. So the game is pretty much over, and this is just pure greed. I just want the last kill. We made a few passes against each other, and I just want to get the guy in the same plane that I'm in. So we made one pass, and then he kept diving and dove away from me. I turned around, so I'm basically chasing him right now. So I'm thinking he's just gonna try to go to the end of the map just to try to escape because the game's pretty much over. He's low, I'm low. I'm flying into the sector, and unbeknownst to me, when I flew in, the heavy fighters, they're all coming in right behind me, which wasn't really paying attention to. I just wanted to get another kill before the game was over. As you can see, it's already 7-17. So I mentioned about the using terrain offensively and defensively, right? So I see him do this, and I know he's flying. He wants to fly behind the pyramid to disappear or to just not give me a line of sight, so I can't shoot him. So he's doing the right thing on his part. He's making it harder for me. So when you're in my position, when you're on offense, you try to you have to try to find a way around it. So instead of chasing him here, I'm gonna make a turn. I'm gonna try to meet him and intercept him over here. So instead of following him, I go this way. I'm like, all right, I'll get you right here. And you see how he disappeared? Oh, I think he may not have disappeared there, but I was able to cut him off a little bit. And by cutting him off, I was able to get some guns on him. Look at those hits. And right here, I'm like, oh, come on, just, what is that, 10 HP? But both heavy fighters are on me, and they're chewing me up, and I didn't really care at this point. My pilot's out, I was just spraying and praying here, you know. And so he got away, and I'm thinking, oh man, he got away, you know, good, give credit to him. He fooled me. He was able to get away from me. But as you can see, I damaged his wing. And I guess when he was flying through between the pyramids, he couldn't maneuver it that well. So he ends up crashing right here. He just missed it, but I'm in no position to do anything. I basically sacrificed myself as well. And these two heavies are just going to chew me up here. And I end up right next to him. So that's kind of a fitting way to end the match. 2 fireballs on the side of the Great Pyramids here. But if I was to follow him behind that pyramid over there, I highly doubt I would have been able to get him there, because those heavy fighters were on me. I would have had to take a longer turn, and he would have been able to he would still be alive right now. But the fact that I cut him off and I tried to get a step ahead, those are the type of things you can do to combat other people using terrain. So I just think it just makes the game more interesting. If more people know, like, hey, we're gonna do this, we're gonna use the terrain, it becomes even more of a game, you know, more of a battle. It's more interesting. If, oh, what can he do to take this away? What can I do to make this harder for him? And instead of just flying straight and being shot at, you know. So I just thought those were a few interesting clips about how to use terrain. And as I see things coming up, I'll try to post some more stuff. Pretty cool things happening in the game.